I don't see worms, I ripped it open. Ooh, that was a nice one. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where I do whatever the frick I want. So, good morning, it's 1 in the afternoon. Today I'm going to be foraging through the rainforest in order to try to make the most gourmet meal possible. So we're going to see how this goes. Let's go find some food. By the way, this is what we're looking for. These are oyster mushrooms. I got these from my campsite this morning. There was a log just completely covered in mushrooms, but I would like to get some more. On this log over here, you can see that there's a lot of mycelium growing, which are basically the roots of mushrooms. That's what all that white stuff is, growing all along it. So pretty soon, this will be covered in some sort of mushroom. I can't really tell right now. Alright, after about 15 minutes of walking, I found a tree that has a bunch of mushrooms on it. So as you guys can see, they're kind of high up there. The highest one's like 15 feet. So I'm going to use my handy dandy branch in order to scrape them down. They thought that growing 20 feet in a tree would save them, but no, it's not. I got him. Ooh, that was a nice one. So I just got this bad mamma jamma off the tree. It looks like it's a really good mushroom. It's in good shape. I don't see too many bugs on it. I got it. Yeah, this one looks really funky, so I don't know if I should keep it. I think it's past its due date. So I found this little guy in between a bunch of dead mushrooms. Look at how tiny this thing is. You might be thinking, why are you plucking off the little mushrooms? Wouldn't you want to give them time to grow? Not necessarily. I'll explain that later, why the big mushrooms aren't always the best to pick. I found another tree right here, which is completely infested with oyster mushrooms. Majority of them are on the other side, so you'll see them in a second. You can see two big ones right here. So behind all this moss, if I peel it down, you can see, oh, there's even more. I'm just throwing them on the ground right now. Oh. I think that we've collected more than enough mushrooms. So we're gonna go collect some other things. So I found some berries. These are thimble berries. The reason why you don't really see these in the store is because when you pick them, they kind of become mushy and crumbly. But besides the way that they look, they're pretty good. Alright, so this is a salmon berry. It kind of looks like an orange blackberry, except they have these little hairs on them. It looks like a skirt. You don't see them in the store because they don't taste really like anything, but bears really like them, and they eat them all the time. Hi guys, so it's been a while since I talked to you. I found quite a bit of berries, but I did stumble upon some blackberries, so I want to show you guys that. So I found these right next to this little creek. So here they are. As you can see, there's quite a few. So as you can see, I collected quite a few blackberries. So this last berry that I have is called an Indian plum. It's called that because it resembles a plum, and the Native Americans used to eat it. Pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so the last plant that I'm going to collect are fiddleheads, which come from ferns. I need to be careful because some types of ferns are actually toxic. You can really tell the difference. This is a sword fern, and you can see it has more sharp leaves. And then this is a lady fern. It looks more like feathers. So what we're going to do is look under here. Here's two, but they're dying for some reason. I made a friend, guys. You guys should name him in the comments. So I found one good one right here. From what I've heard, these are pretty good. They kind of taste similar to asparagus, but I haven't tried them before, so I guess we'll find out. This will be my table. Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. What's up? Oh, there's a bug on my face. So it is the next day. It's time to start cooking. This is gonna be my stove. I would much rather have a campfire to cook on, but right now there's a fire ban in Washington. This is perfectly legal, but having an open fire is illegal. I don't want to start a forest fire trying to cook some food. This is definitely stable and not dangerous at all. Here we go. So I have my fiddleheads right here. As you can see, there's brown hairs all over them. They're harmless. You just have to scrape them off. Look at that though. It's so beautiful. When you pull it out, it just looks like a baby fern. Then you let it go. And it just springs back into the normal shape. Now that I've cleaned all of these, I'm gonna throw them in some boiling water. You need to do that because they do have some toxins in them. And it's believed that by throwing them in boiling water, that takes some of the toxins away. I'm not quite sure though. Also, ferns grow in quite swampy areas, so they are great hosts for parasites and different bacteria. So you definitely want to make sure to boil these for about 10 minutes. The next thing I'm going to prepare are my mushrooms. Wow, that smells fresh. When you get mushrooms from the woods, you want to make sure to boil them because they can have worms inside of them. It's this lovely little tiny beetle that likes to lay its eggs inside the gills of the mushroom, and then the eggs hatch and then they burrow inside. So you want to look through the gills and make sure that you don't see any worms inside, which I've already done that to all of these. They're not harmful at all. You can eat them. I would just prefer to not eat worms if I don't have to. When I was collecting the mushrooms, I told you guys that it's best to collect little mushrooms. I'll tell you why in a second, but you would think that the best mushrooms to collect would be the big ones because then you get the most out of one mushroom. But when a mushroom is big, it's been in the woods for much longer than a little one, so it's had a lot more time to be infected with bugs and parasites. I'm going to be making most of my little ones today. Trigger warning, worms. If this will focus, that would be very helpful. If you can see right here, these little white things, those would be worms inside this mushroom. So I'm not going to be eating this mushroom. I'm going to throw it out. Alright, my fiddleheads are done with the process of being sterilized. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but the water turned purple. So that's interesting. But hopefully that's all the toxins seeping out of my fiddleheads. Let's go dump out this hot water. Alright, I'm gonna boil my mushrooms one more time just to be safe. That's one thing with cooking with nature. You can never be too cautious. There's always room for improvement. Alright, so these have been boiling for about 5 minutes, so I think they're good. Do you guys see why Washington's my favorite state now? Look at how beautiful this is. Anyone who doesn't think this is pretty, I don't trust them. By the way, I'm just winging this, okay? This is the most gourmet I could come up with. I'm not a chef. So I think they're about crispy enough, so I'm gonna add all of my spices. Keep up with me, this is gonna go fast. Onion powder, thyme, ain't nobody got time for that. Garlic powder, nutritional yeast. I forgot to bring my salt out, but I've remembered this. Paprika to make it look more alive, because it's kind of brown. So this is what they look like. Delicious. I just realized it was kind of dark out here, so I adjusted the exposure. Next up are the fiddleheads. I'm just gonna do the exact same thing that I did with the mushrooms, same spices, everything. They look very appetizing, as you can see. I'm being sarcastic. So I actually got some salt this time, so I'm gonna add that to both. The last thing I have to prepare are my berries. Alright, so these are fully rinsed now, so I get to add them to my plate. So this is my finished plate. So now it's time for the taste test. The thing I'm most excited about are probably the fiddleheads because I've tried mushrooms before and I've had berries before. So let's try it. It's quite crispy. It just tastes a lot like asparagus. It's really good though. This part with the leaves is really, really good. I thought I burnt it. I think I did. But it's still really, really good. I give this a 10 out of 10. Not for my cooking, because I'm sure it could taste better, but just based on like the natural flavor of the fiddlehead itself. Oh, there's a bird. No, you cannot have my food. Mushrooms. I'm gonna eat the little ones first, because I really don't want to eat worms. I don't see worms. I ripped it open. It tastes like a mushroom. Mushrooms, I give them a 10 out of 10 as well. They're just regular mushrooms. Now time for the berries. This is where it gets interesting. I already told you, but in case you forgot, these are called Indian plums. They taste a little bit like cold medicine, but like a good version of cold medicine, if that makes sense. I'd give these about a 6 out of 10. Blackberries, most people know what this is. These are good. There's normal blackberries. Salmon berries, the beautiful bright orange berries. It's really good, but it tastes quite watery. It's not very sweet at all. The closest thing I can think of is almost like a cucumber or the rind of a watermelon. Just like a nice fresh taste, but not really that sweet, more watery. This is a red one of those. Same thing, tastes the exact same. Thimbleberries, they just mush. Oh, okay, well, there you go. These are much better than the salmon berries. I would give it about a 7.5 out of 10. I think they're good enough to sell in the store. It's just that they're really mushy. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please don't click off yet. I have some things to say. Don't forget to give the video a like if you liked it, or a dislike if you didn't. That's completely fine. Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Doing all of those things really helps with the channel. It makes it so YouTube pushes my video to more people. So it's a free way that you can help out. Also, a big thank you goes to everyone who supports the channel on Patreon. Because of you guys, I'm able to continue making content and show you all of the beautiful places that I visit. Why was that difficult to say? And also because of you guys, I'm able to make content like this. It's kind of a mix of beautiful places and different things. And an extra special thank you goes to JoJo and Beastie, John Emerson, Scott Ashley Smith, Michael Posh, Scott Ballantyne, Scott Sweaters, Paul Carpenter, Britt Saunders, Johan Gittens, Jordan Vajda, and Duncan Stewart Cumming. So once again, thank you guys so very much. I really appreciate it. I hope all of you guys have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time it is when this video reaches you. Peace out. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.